Hello, amazing people and enthralling audiences, ladies and gentlemen, as well as avid readers of English literature community. I welcome you all towards this lecture presentation on David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. As you know that I have the Wordsworth Classics edition with me. David Copperfield, Charles Dickens. Introduction and notes by Adrienne E. Gavin, Canterbury Christ Church University College. Okay? Reading or hearing the words David Copperfield today conjures up three different images of what those words denote. Okay? They might refer to the title of Charles Dickens' novel. They might signify the eponymous protagonist of that novel, or they might designate our own contemporary, the magician David Copperfield. Okay? So, mm, Dickens enjoyed popular entertainments such as conjuring and the circus, and later in his own career gave public readings which held audiences spellbound by his own word-based form of stage music. But these three possible referents, novel, character, and magician, have added parallels. Okay? All are involved in acts of transformation and with making those who are involved in acts of transformation and with making those who watch or read suspend disbelief and enter into the illusions they create. Okay? Mhm. David Copperfield, the magician, through sleight of hand, creates grand illusions. He makes the Statue of Liberty disappear. He walks through the Great Wall of China. Dickens, as author, through sleight of word, transforms his own personal experience and imagination, okay, into the grand illusion that is a novel. His character, David Copperfield, is himself transformed by the experiences of his fictional life as he matures and, in turn, as narrator and writer, and creates his own autobiographical illusion from the memories and echoes of that life. David Copperfield is a novel about transformations and illusions, not merely those created by language and memory, but also centrally those pertaining to human relationships. Okay? Peter Penzold, writing of book titles in general notes, if we see David Copperfield on the cover of our book, we expect the story of a boy or a man. But beyond that, everything must remain a surprise. The surprise is created from the tricks that the magician, author, and illusionist narrator perform through writing and lightning. In David Copperfield, the spotlight falls on the emotional ties that bind characters to one another, ties of love, friendship, family, marriage, class, finance, dependency, or geography. Okay? Ties that range across sex, class, and age. The transformational powers of human relationships and the shattering or sustaining of illusions about human behavior link together what David, the narrator, calls the thread in the web I have spun. The central thread is, of course, David Copperfield's life story, and the key relationships are those in which he figures. His narrative reveals changes in himself, both of internal and external, as he relates his history from the hours before his birth to a period when he is mature, happy, and famous author, a time perhaps at which his transformation pauses, and He can recognize the past illusions created by his undisciplined heart and can put them aside in favor of his new magic, the power of words. In writing his autobiography, he reveals alterations not only in himself but in those people important, positively or negatively, okay? In his life, and he implicitly grapples throughout with the questions he poses in the first sentence of the novel, but never explicitly answers them. Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, or whether that station will be held by anybody else, his pages must show. David certainly appears to be the novel's hero in its opening section. John Forster, Dickens' friend and biographer, notes that David Copperfield's comment about himself, if it should appear that I was a child of close observation, or that as a man I have a strange memory of my childhood, I undoubtedly lay claim to both of these characteristics. Okay, was also unaffectedly true of Charles Dickens. Dickens was one of the first writers to pay close attention to child characters in his work, and David Copperfield contains some of the finest chapters ever written on childhood in English fiction. Okay? Dickens focuses with acute observation and empathy and forms a child's perspective on both the comic and painful elements in David's first decade of life. David's childish understanding gives rise to the comedy of his interchanges with Mr. Barkis, the Yarmouth Waiter, and the Micawbers, while his powerlessness as a child is revealed in his brutal treatment by the Murdstones and Crickle, and in his hardships after his mother's death. As David becomes an adult, his status as hero of the novel becomes less clear in that at times his own character is eclipsed by the sheer energy and vibrancy with which other characters are revealed to the reader.